Hey everybody, welcome to the second video in my vlog series Straight from the Belly. Thank you so much for watching my previous video. I got a lot of comments and feedback from a lot of you, and I'm going to try and answer all the questions that you guys have asked me in this video and a few of them in the upcoming videos as well. So today I'm going to talk about the second and the third trimester of my pregnancy, and let's start with the diet. Well, the diet part was the hardest part for me because of all the food cravings that I would get. A lot of times I would crave for the saltiest, the spiciest, the crunchiest, basically all the junk food because I had my taste buds were craving for some extreme flavors, and that made it really hard for me to eat anything, you know, simple and home cooked food. So it was really hard for me to follow a discipline with this diet, and this went on from the beginning of the first trimester till the mid of the second trimester. I did try my best to stick to healthy food, but sometimes I had to give in to the cravings. And you know, a lot of people keep saying it's okay, you should eat what you like, you know, don't be hard on yourself. And I actually even ended up losing a little bit of weight because a lot of times, even though I would feel like eating what I wanted to eat, I would get to eat what I like, but because of all the nausea, I couldn't even eat it. So this got my parents a little bit worried. I lost weight. The doctor then told us that no, it's okay, this is normal, it's gonna be okay after a while, so it's all right, just eat whatever you can and stuff like that. So it was a little bit hard, but it was definitely a challenge that I wanted to take up and try to keep myself eating healthy and follow a disciplined diet. Every time I actually craved for food, I would actually crave for things like pani puri, pav bhaji, burgers and ice creams, basically stuff that was loaded with flavor. I just couldn't eat mediocre or bland flavored food, and that because I said this was a challenge for me, I took it up. I started being very serious towards the end. I made it a point to overcome this challenge because I knew that after my pregnancy, this would be very hard for me to, you know, be strict with myself regarding the diet. And if it continued this way, it's not a good thing. So I thought that if I don't discipline myself now, then it will be difficult for me later. So I made it a point that I restrict myself and be strict with myself and limit my cravings as much as I can, so that it's easier for me to manage after my pregnancy. So I became disciplined gradually towards the end of my pregnancy. Second biggest challenge that I faced was to deal with my mood swings. I mean, we girls are already used to dealing with mood swings when we get our periods, but trust me, during pregnancy, the mood swings get multiplied by 100. And that made it harder for me to even, you know, deal with my diet problems. But when I started actually realizing that I'm having so many mood swings, dance was one thing that kept me sane, because it kept me, you know, dancing actually kept me motivated to focus on one thing, and it made me forget about all the other symptoms of pregnancy that I had. And I gradually started realizing that I have to do something about it. So I couldn't do yoga. Yoga was not allowed. And I started journaling. It took me a while to figure out what I could do to calm myself down and you know, focus and bring all my energy together. So I started journaling because they say that journaling is a good way to kind of dump your mind and calm yourself down and discipline, bring your energies, collect your energies together. So I started journaling every night, and apart from journaling, I also used to routinely do a meditation and pranayam session. So that again helped me a lot because I started to gain a lot of clarity, a lot of focus, and that helped me mentally, spiritually actually grow and develop. So I would a lot of times lose strength because of you know, physical problems during pregnancy, but what kept me going a lot of times is also the journaling. It gives me a lot of space, a lot of understanding about my body, awareness about myself, what I'm doing, how much I need to gather my strength for this new phase that I was going to have with my baby and stuff like that. So the journaling part really mentally, it strengthened me a lot, and I am still continuing that because it gave me such a huge, it basically transformed me into a person that I didn't think that I could ever be. I wasn't so strict with myself before. I was very lenient. I would always give in to my mood swings. But once I started journaling, I started disciplining myself and I became very strict with myself with regards to a lot of things, which turned out to be good. And maintaining that was the best thing ever, because they say that the mental status of the mother really impacts the baby, and it impacts the development of the baby. So it was really important for me to be happy, positive, and kind of grow and inculcate a positive attitude, fight against all the negative symptoms, or fight against any of the mood swings that I would get. So it was extremely important for me to maintain that mental balance. And because I knew that I'm not the only one here, I have to take care of another life growing inside me. Because if it was only about me, then I wouldn't care so much. But now I was responsible for another person, so I was kind of forced to take care of myself and work harder on making myself a better person, physically, mentally. And it all worked out for good, because the discipline is obviously something that's going to help you have a good life forever and ever. So yeah, I'm really happy that this pregnancy has transformed me in such a good way, and I'm able to maintain that discipline even now. So not everything about my pregnancy was a challenge. I did have some plus points too, and one of those things was my skin. So basically the skin on my face really cleared up. I started getting the pregnancy glow, like they say. I was the happiest about it, because to be honest, I did have quite a few skin problems before I got pregnant, and I was so looking forward to having the pregnancy glow. And like, you know, all the extra progesterone and estrogen and all the good hormones that your body starts to make during pregnancy helped me get healthy skin automatically. Like, I really didn't have to do anything, because I started to think that if I'm going to eat so much of junk and give in to my cravings every time, I'm going to have more and more breakouts. But that didn't happen, luckily for me. And I actually was concerned about one thing, which is the stretch marks. Now, being a belly dancer, you know, we have to take care of our body. We have to be disciplined, because it's our bread and butter. And I was researching and doing all kinds of experiments with how best to avoid getting stretch marks, because, you know, it can't be 100% avoided, but at least to, you know, 90% minimize the look of the stretch marks. So I started using all kinds of essential oils, bio oil, and different kinds of brands, and coconut oil, almond oil. I think I even used some kinds of castor oil and stuff like that. Towards the end of my pregnancy, I was massaging my belly like almost 3 times in a day with different kinds of oils every time. Like, for example, in the morning I would do a coconut oil massage. In the afternoon I would do an essential oil. And I'd like to mention the essential oils that I use. It could be helpful for some of you who want to get rid of pregnancy stretch marks or any kind of stretch marks. This is basically, I used rosehip oil mixed with almond oil and grapeseed oil. That was my first. And then I also experimented with tea tree oil mixed with coconut oil. And then I also used bio oil. And then I also used, I think, the stretch marks oil by this brand called Moms & Co. And I haven't been sponsored by any of these brands, so you can go and check them out. And lastly, I also tried using aloe vera, because from all the research that I did, I found out that aloe vera is also good for tightening your skin. And I'm still following that routine, because it's not just until my delivery, but even post delivery, it's important for the skin to kind of get back into the way it was before pregnancy. So that took a really lot of my time, but it's kind of paying off. I can say that it is paying off, and it really minimized the occurrence of stretch marks until the end of my pregnancy. So yeah, so that was basically my skincare routine. I didn't have to do a lot for my face, but I did have to take care a lot for my belly. So this was about my second and third trimester of pregnancy. I hope you guys find this information really helpful and found it interesting. Feel free to share your comments and suggestions and feedback with me. And if you have any more questions, I'd be happy to answer them in my next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and do follow the hashtags Payal Gupta Belly Dancer, Payal Gupta Vlogs and Straight from the Belly. This will lead you to all the videos and the playlists and the series, so you can watch any of the videos, previous ones and the new ones. So stay tuned. Bye bye.